All right, so in this situation here, we've got simple interest at play. We're going to model this situation, okay, using the simple interest formula, which is I equals the principal, okay, which is the amount invested, times the interest rate, okay, that's a percentage, but we have to write that as a decimal, times the time, okay. So this is the formula we'll be using. We're going to use it a couple times here to help us figure out this situation. So Damien inherits $150,000 from his grandmother. He invests that money into 2 interest-bearing accounts, the first of which pays 5.5% simple interest each year. The second account pays him 3.5% simple interest each year. If Damien's total interest after year 1 is $6,950, how much money did he invest in each account? Okay. Later on in the year, we're going to use a different kind of interest formula, talking about compound interest. But here we're talking about simple interest, so the formula is much simpler, ironically. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to set this up. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is we're going to set a variable for how much he invested in this first account. Okay, so X is going to be that amount invested in 5.5% account. All right, so the amount of interest that's going to be earned is this percentage as a decimal times that amount invested, okay? So 5.5% as a decimal is 0.055. Multiply that by the amount invested, okay? And that's going to be the interest earned in 1 year, okay? We're talking about the first year only, all right? The second account, well, if he invested X amount of dollars in the first account, he would have invested $150,000 minus that amount X in the second account, okay? So the interest earned on that account would be this percentage, written as a decimal, times this value, $150,000 minus X, okay? All right, so we want to create a model here. All right, so the model is going to be the interest earned on the first account, okay, which is 5.5%, plus the interest earned on the second account is going to equal the total interest earned. All right, so let's plug in the values we know. We know an algebraic expression here, we know an algebraic expression here, and we know a value here. So let's plug those in. All right, so 0.055x goes here. 0.035 times this quantity, 150,000 minus x, goes here. And the total interest we know from the problem is 6,950, okay? So now we have a pretty simple linear equation we need to solve. Let's use the distributive property, okay? So when you distribute, you multiply this times this, you get 5,250. When you multiply 0.035 times negative x, you get this value here, okay? Combine like terms on the left side. I'm going to subtract 5,250 from both sides, and I get 0.02x equals 1,700, okay? Divide both sides of the equation by 2 100ths, or 0.02, and I get $85,000, okay? So that's the amount invested in the account earning 5.5%, okay? If I want to find the amount invested in the 3.5% account, I'm going to take that 85,000, I'm going to subtract it from X, okay? Or subtract it from 150,000, excuse me, and I get $65,000, which is invested in the account that pays 3.5%, okay? So that's one quick situation where you could use simple interest to do some problem solving, okay? There you go.